Fueled by Deathcast. The Fueled by Death Guest.
How far away do you think we are from doing something like this?
Well, let's get a timetable. First of all, next year, 2019, the first moon rocket will go back to the moon after a 50-year gap. The SLS booster rocket of NASA and the Orion space capsule are scheduled to orbit around the moon in an unmanned mission in December of 2019. Then 2023, humans, astronauts, will go back to the moon. And then by 2026, we hope to have a lunar orbiter that orbits the moon to create a rocket ship that'll take us to Mars. So the moon is going to be a halfway stop. We'll stop on the moon. It's only 3 days away by rocket. Build the Mars ship in space, and then shoot the Mars rocket to Mars for a 2-year journey. That'll take place sometime around 2030, 2035. And then, once we get that off the ground, a small settlement of astronauts will be created, and perhaps by the end of the century, perhaps we'll have a few hundred colonists on Mars. Elon Musk envisions 1 million colonists, each rocket containing maybe 1,000 settlers and colonists, to begin the process of creating a second branch of humanity. Now, of course, all humans are not going to go to Mars, a settlement on Mars, because we need an insurance policy in case something happens to the Earth. Now, remember, the dinosaurs had no space program. And because the dinosaurs had no space program, that's why they're not here today to talk about it. We do have a space program, so we can create a insurance policy, a backup plan, Plan B, in case something bad happens to the Earth.
And getting to Mars, we're going to terraform it. I have to ask this question here at Death Wish Coffee. Would we be able to grow coffee on Mars?
Yes. In principle, anything that can be grown on the Earth can be modified slightly to grow in the environment of Mars, which is colder than the Earth, but still has plenty of carbon dioxide. Plants love carbon dioxide. So yes, you could have coffee on Mars.
And would we tout ourselves as the world's strongest coffee? Would caffeine affect you differently in the atmosphere of Mars, or would it be the same?
I think it would be largely the same because, caffeine will get into blood, and the blood goes into the brain and stimulates dopamine. And so I think that for the most part, it'll be roughly the same. You can still get the caffeine high on Mars.
That's good, because as I said, we are the world's strongest coffee, and we hope to one day be the strongest coffee in the universe, and that would be our first steps.